to officially welcome you to this special occasion, which is intended to discuss issues concerning gender. A great philosopher once said, "Great things happen when there is a gathering of great minds." Today, great minds are gathering to discuss issues concerning gender. It is with this anticipation that we are privileged and honored to host this program in Edna Senior High School. Issues concerning gender are very sensitive, and for that matter, it must be discussed dispassionately. And I hope that this forum will do justice to it and bring to bear, and also erode the negative impression on gender issues. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Edna Senior High School was established on 9 January 1978 in the castle, with an initial population of 30 students under the headship of Mr. B. Saipa. In 1990, the school was relocated to its present location called Paul Isaac Hill. And in 2004, Edna Senior High School was one of the schools selected by the former president of Ghana, President J.A. Kufuor, to be upgraded to a Category A model school. Currently, Edna Senior High School has a student population of over 3,000 students and 110 teachers, 11 national service personnel, and 78 non-teaching staff. Ladies and gentlemen, we are highly enthusiastic, very optimistic that your presence today and your contribution today will make the program very successful. On behalf of the school, I wish all a convivial welcome, and I hope and believe that your presence at Edna Senior High School will offer you the opportunity to have a panoramic view of the great Atlantic Ocean, those of us who are not from the coast. I wish you a happy and fruitful celebration. Have a wonderful day. Good morning to you all.
Gender equality is a state of equal ease of access to resources and opportunities regardless of gender. Sexual violence is any sexual act or attempt to obtain sexual desire by violence or coercion. Gender inequality and sexual violence continue to be global social cancers that must continuously be eradicated in current and future generations. According to the Global World Report 2018-2019, men worldwide get paid approximately 16% more for the same work done by women. The Knowledge Academy Limited estimates that Ghanaian women are paid 11% less than what Ghanaian men are paid. Research also states that worldwide, there are only 3 countries with more women in parliament than men. In Ghana, women constitute just about 13.5% of parliament as at 2017. 35% of women have experienced one or various forms of physical and or sexual violence by a partner. Out of the globally reported domestic violence, 40% are perpetrated against men. These numbers are alarming and indicate a strong need for mass education on curbing gender issues. This initiative by the Department of Gender to sensitize 100 boys from the central region on their roles in promoting gender equality and advocacy on adolescent sexual and reproductive health and sexual-based violence is therefore a variable one. This program will shape all the minds of young boys and will inadvertently enable young boys to practice what they are taught here and also help them become ambassadors among their friends, peers, and families. I will take this opportunity also to advise our young ones to be respectful, obedient, and stay away from all forms of social vices. Concentrate on your studies and listen to advice from elders, teachers, and parents. It is my fervent hope that this program will be a successful one and that we all will look back to this day in future and be proud that our efforts have led to a safer Ghana and well for all genders. On this note, I wish all a fruitful event. God bless Ghana and the KEA municipality. Thank you.
Who you want to become one day. And as we went along, we realized that a lot of the issues that were coming up were mostly affecting women. However, as the world changes, we realize that a lot of those issues also are perpetrated by men and have consequences for the men as well. For example, when you look at the population in our prisons, the higher numbers are men. When you look at violence, domestic violence, I'll talk about the central region because we are here. Later on, when I'm making my presentation on sexual and gender-based violence, I'll show you the actual figures and you understand. We realize that when you look at the domestic violence situation in the region, about 84% of those who actually commit those violence are men. And some of these men end up in prison, some end up dead, some end up doing other things. And you realize that 81% of those that the violence affects are also women and children. And so if we want to move on as a nation, as a region, we cannot do that without bringing the men and the women on board. Now, as we go through the day, you realize that everything that affects men, some way, somehow, affects women. I believe that one day you want to get married. You want to have a nice family. You want to have your children. Where are your wives? How are they faring? Are they getting pregnant and dropping out of school? It should be of concern to you. Because at the end of the day, if they drop out of school, they give birth, and they are not even your wife. One day you find a wife to marry, and you become a great man. The children of those girls who didn't get the kind of opportunity you get will pick a gun. And you think when they pick a gun, they will go to their poor mother's house. Will they go to their poor mother's house? There's nothing there to steal. So where will they go? Your rich home. That is where they will come. And so when we are talking about gender issues, it cuts across. It has several implications for security, for health, for well-being, and for every aspect, employment, social amenities, and for every aspect of our lives. So today we are here to do 4 basic things. 1, to increase your knowledge on issues of sexual and gender-based violence, of issues of gender equality, and adolescent sexual and reproductive health. So that once you understand as boys, you can take informed decisions, 1, and then you can also make efforts to to protect your girl counterparts. Number 2, the second reason why we are here to provoke frank discussion among you about issues, your understanding about issues of gender equality, sexual and gender-based violence on the human being. 1, and its implication for national development. We will explore that. Then number 3, we want to develop your capacities to champion these issues. When you live here and you get to your school and you are within your groups and you are having discussions, you are now aware, you understand the issues, so you can educate your friends. Now we are talking about establishing boys clubs so that you can also discuss the issues. So some of you from here may take up that challenge, that in our school we want to develop a club where we can meet and discuss issues affecting us. And that will go a long way to help you and to help the country. And then finally, we want to engender discussions on how best you can do this. How can you champion the cause of gender equality? How can you champion the cause of ending sexual and gender-based violence? And how can you champion the cause of reducing the pregnancies through your knowledge in adolescent sexual and reproductive health? So basically, these are the reasons why we are here. Should I speak 3? I should add 3 here. The English is too much, right? So we should mix it. Okay, we will mix it. So basically, these are the reasons why we are here. But as the day go on, we will add some 3, and then we will discuss and we will understand the issues. You ask your questions. But later in the day, we also have 2 men who will come here to share with you their life journey, their life experiences, and then you can also ask them questions. There are things you are going through as boys. I am a woman. I cannot respond to that for you. I may not understand you as boys, but those men, when they come, they have also been boys. So when they share with you, you also share your life with them, and then you ask them the things that are bothering you and how you can overcome them. And so this is the reason why we are gathered here today, and I thank you all for coming. God bless you.
Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, today's program, what's your take on it?
My take on it is this. We've been concentrating on guests, not coincident or by incident, because women are more than men. And in fact, they have been cheated for a long time, and there is a great disparity between the women and men. As I've said, in Ghana, you have about 11% of women get less pay, and worldwide it's about 16%. So if initially we were concentrating on women or girls, there's nothing wrong with it. But invariably, you can see that when you go to the prisons, most of the victims are men. So it also affects the men, and this time I think the focus should also be on men. So that eventually men are going to be with women. Now, if you don't get the right men, and even if you get the right women, there will be still disparity. But if we all come together and we are all shaped well, then I think we can get a better Ghana. Oh, what I think is it will have a great impact on the children. In fact, now when you read about the history of Israel, they start from the children. So by the time you are 12 years, you are okay. And I'm very happy because in Ghana here, we started our basic education neglecting the KGs. So when even you go to the villages, you see that you have class 1 to class 6 and the JSS. But you see the deplorable or the dilapidated state of the schools. So that if you are starting from the beginning, in fact, you must start from the beginning. It is like this our referendum. We had our 1992 Constitution, which stipulates that multi-party democracy, and we've done that for 27 years. But now I think it's now time for us to start from the bottom, so that if the president is checking some of his position to the grassroots, I think it must be embraced. So now it is time for us to start from the bottom, because I think since 27 years ago, we are now matured to be on our own. It is like, as the Bible has said, leaving your father and mother to go and marry. But it seems you have gotten to the age to marry, but you are still with your mother. But that wouldn't be very good for us. So if they have started with the children, I think that's the best way.
Your final message to boys.
My final message is they should take this particular program very serious, because it will impact on their future. If they take it serious and they practice it, all I'm saying, they shouldn't only listen to whatever they are being taught. They should go and practice it, and they should also, spread the message to those who are not privileged to be here. By so doing, I think it will help all of us.
How many of us have heard about sexual and gender-based violence before you came here? Have you ever heard of anything called sexual and gender-based violence? Okay, thank you. How many of us have heard about domestic violence? 1, 2. Okay, about 15% of us. Thank you. About 10. So if you have not heard about it, you cannot define it. So any of the laws in Ghana that speaks against violence, how many of us, boys, any law you know that opposes Ghana? Okay, there's one here.
Domestic violence.
Thank you. Which law do you know? Which law says that? You don't know the law, but you know you shouldn't put force on women. Thank you.
That has gotten pregnant.
Teen age.
Yes.
What age?
The age is between, let's say, from 15 to 18.
Good. Those who
Female gets pregnant between the ages of 9 to 19.
you
19, either married or not married.
good. So
Adolescent girl gets pregnant within the ages of 13 to 19 years.
you that's a 13 to 19. Okay. So anybody has a different definition apart from all that has been said. They say I'm married 13 to 19. Those are the answers we got, right? Good. And see, how many of us think the girls are to be blamed? They do a lot of things that make them pregnant. When you said, "Is it there? A messy man and wire responsible and I'm making for no. Why not? You blame girls. The girls. So all those who believe we should blame the girls, put up your hands. Very tall. Okay. How many believe that the boys are also to be blamed, or the men? The boys and the men are also to be blamed. Please, let's count. Boys and men, they are also to be blamed. Okay, how many don't know who should be blamed? The pregnancy is just coming. We can't blame boys, we can't blame girls. Who thinks that he doesn't know who to be blamed?
Girls usually wear short knickers and short dresses. And sometimes they even expose some parts of their body. And we boys, if we see that it attracts us, and through that we try to get to have sex with the ladies. That's why the girls must be blamed for this.
Okay, thank you.
Girls are to be blamed. It's because sometimes they lack self-control.
The girls lack self-control. Okay.
So you are a guy, sometimes you may be in your room. By the time you realize maybe a girl will come there, you have nothing within you. But as time moves on, you see that you guys have been engaging yourself in something that you are not supposed to do.
So the boy, you have self-control. But the girl doesn't have self-control. So she
Mostly the girls lack self-control.
The girls lack self-control,
Yes.
but the boys have self-control.
We have, yes.
You have
We have
self-control. Thank
self-control.
you.
For sex.
Are you writing?
If I'm a boy and I ask you for sex and you don't give yourself to me, there will be no pregnancy. So
Okay.
the girl should be blamed.
So when you ask the girl should say no.
Yeah.
So if the girl doesn't say no, it means that it is the girl who is to be
Yes,
blamed.
please.
Thank you. Next one.
The reason why I'm saying that the girls should blame is that most of the girls like money. When they see a guy who have a lot of money, they will be going to him. And we the boys too, every day giving you the money. We can't give it to you like that. We also have to take something from you.
So the girls have to be blamed.
Yes, madam.
So all the girls, they like money.
Yes, no, madam, it's not all of them. But majority of them,
Like money.
Yes, madam.
And the boys, do you like giving?
Yes.
So when you give, you have to take.
you have to take something.
Give
You
and
have to do exchange.
Yo,
Yes, madam.
yo.
And for that matter, we always sex around anyhow. For instance, when a guy is dating a lady, since the guy is having that great mind to deceive the lady, the guy will pass through any means to get the lady. So if you are here saying that the ladies are weak, fine, they may be weak in thinking, but they are not
In
weak.
thinking?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But may not be
And now
weak
they do.
in that aspect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blame because if, for instance, my brother here said, if we ask for sex and they deny us, we the boys, that is when we are going to entice the lady by giving them sugar-coated words. That will let them allow us to have an affair with them. So that may
Thank
lead to the
you.
pregnancy.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
But we can rape the girls. So when we rape the girls, they can get pregnant.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
It's by the boys. Why? Because no girl can go and propose to a boy that I want to have sex with you. It's the boys who go and propose to the ladies to have sex with them.
Clap for him. Have girls come to propose to you? Hey, the girls come to propose to you. Hey, powerful girls. Okay, last one.
You see such images,
They want to
yeah,
practice.
they want to practice something like that. So that is why I'll blame the males for the teenage pregnancy.
Thank you. Okay, so we have ended that. In SHS 1, comes to your room to propose to you. You are innocent, though. You are in your corner. And you agreed. You are 17 years. And you agreed. And you had sex with the girl. Is that a problem? Is that a problem?
The boy, although you were in your room,
Okay, let me rephrase my question. It is them. She wore a short dress and she came to your corridor. And on top of that, she came to your room and said she loves you. And you agreed. You didn't propose to her. Oh. And now one thing led to another. And she's pregnant. Is it lawful?
Unlawful.
Why?
Because there is defilement. When you sleep with a lady under 18 years, you are
Under
going-
18 years.
18 years.
Thank you.
Yes.
So take note.
Lawful. Because
Okay, hold on. How many of us think it's lawful? How many of us think it's lawful? The guy is 17, the girl is 14, 13.
Okay, madam, please. I'm a business student, and I learned that minors, when they go under contracts, when they undergo a contract, since they are minor, they cannot be sealed in the law. So, assuming I'm 17 years old, and the girl too is 14 years old, and that means we are all minors, so nothing can be.
Okay, Mr. Tua, please, you are hearing. He says he's 17, the girl is 13. You are
Like the Krobos will do the poll for the girls to signify that they are entering adolescence, and some the Ashantis will do Bragoro to signify adolescence. Are we following? Okay. And like I said, it's universal. She said, baby, I will be a adolescence. But baby, I will the kind of things you develop into. Yet, yes, yeah. where you find yourself, your environment, your culture, the socioeconomic activities that are around you, they will influence your adolescence. Yes, yes. Do you understand that point? Are you sure? What am I trying to say? Someone should tell me what I'm trying to say. Yes, sir. Okay. And then it also allows you to prepare for adulthood. And it's during this stage that you know the kind of adult you become. Okay. And it's characterized, because I said it's a transition, there were different stages. A wide range, say the ABA, socially, emotionally, and we'll talk about all those things. Okay, so physiological changes. What can we see and know that this person will do adolescence? My class is dog, and am I the one causing the dullness? I'm the one. And they who can say, we are in age mate cry. Yeah, shade and fine, yes, because that girl is taller, somehow tougher than you. It's because of this phenomenon. Girls grow faster, and then the boys from 14 to 18 years, they also start shooting up. Boys, So you see that they all start pepper. But you see that the boys start gaining more muscles than the girls, because men are more muscular. You see, while the girls are gaining fat, the boys are gaining muscles. And mostly because of the gender assignments. Ejuma ayeye ofie, una opeja adia emodu, una uwo fufu ofie, because you are the man. It makes you build muscles. And then the fat. So like I said, while the boys are gaining muscles, the girls are gaining fat. You see, it's the fat that shapes the girl. Now a man is a Coca-Cola shape. Now the fat cells are settling where they are supposed to settle, and it starts giving them shape. So before adolescence, who the bear money or bar to her, now dress your pair. You can hardly see difference in them, unless they be a girl niche earring and I say BB to identify. But during adolescence, you will see, even without earring or anything to identify, by the contours of the people standing there say, way or by way, Bema, except in some cases where the lady has not developed those features.
We have a lot of fun, but you do not cut your fun short with teenage pregnancies and then unprotected. Dabio, what's on Natade show? On our dressing, as we said, we dress to attract. We dress to attract. We didn't ask you to come and call us. Did we ask you? Did we ask you? Did we ask you to call us? No, we haven't asked you to call us. No. So one friend me Mako cry. No. So please, control your edges. They are natural, as you said. It's normal. We all go through it. The girls go through lots of things too. They also have those sexual edges. But because of our culture, we are not made to go and ask. I cannot come to you and say, girl, gentleman, me pal. Nah. And you're fine. I can't do that. I can't do that. But you can do that to me. So if you do not do it, that means I am protected. So the power is in you guys, your hands. 2 million national monsim. Say 1 year, me. 1 person me pa, me. So catch him say me no one. 1 country say me no one da. There's no way I miss me for so say me no other. Me boy. Inti sheso. Inti. You take take charge of your power. Take charge of it. You guys are the leaders. Take charge of it, okay? Take charge of it and then take care of us. He said you are tender and loving at this stage. So be tender and loving to us and take care of us, we the girls, okay? That's my little advice.
And the ones that he wished to do, he cannot. So sometimes it is difficult. And if you have a problem, you have an infirmary here. It's an adolescent corner. Most of the senior high schools now have adolescent corners. Please, you have your counselors. Please, talk to a trusted adult. Listen to me, oh. What? Speak to somebody. Don't go through it alone and go and fall into a ditch. Curiosity, remember, killed good.
The boys who impregnate the girls are there. Why not talking to these boys? If they decide to avoid the girls, then the girls will also get their peace and they will move on in their education. We thank you very much for. And as you are here, whatever they are telling you today, please take it very serious because they are here to mold you, to guide you in your education. Maybe if you impregnate a girl, it's the girl who will stop the education. But you, your conscience, and even your mood, your morals will not permit you to concentrate in your studies. If you are here and if you impregnate a certain girl out there and you are in school, you will see that your mindset will not be stable in the school. You will be thinking about it day in and day out, and it can affect your academic work too. So we are telling you today that apart from impregnating the girls, there are other infections that you can also get through. When you were asking the questions, I heard someone say, "Mesiafuna no oba." Mesiafuna no oba. So if you avoid them, let them know your stand. Tell them that, my friend, I'm here for my studies. I'm here for my future. Because certain things that you can do today can affect you throughout life. So pay attention, take every bit of whatever they are telling you here today, and I think it will help and guide you in your future. Have a very successful deliberations, and may God be with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Cecilia Boaji, Municipal Director of Education, KEA. In fact, today's program is in a very right direction because since gender department came, the attention or the focus is always on the girl child, neglecting the boys. And so we can see that it's the boys who impregnate the girls, who put them in family way for them to stop their education. And we've neglected the boys. They will continue with the education, and the girls are always vulnerable. But today, they are here today to be advised, to train on how they can carry themselves around to help these girls to complete their education and to be at par with their colleagues' boys. So apart from telling them that they will impregnate the girls, there are other diseases that they can get through sex. And with this education, I think it's in a very right direction. And the girls, the boys will also know how to comport themselves and how to carry themselves around. So I think it's in a very right direction. To overshadow them in what way? Yes, I can say yes for now because they have gone through a lot of training, a lot of education. So now many of the girls know how to carry themselves around than the boys. Considering the questions they are asking over there, you can see there some of them don't know certain things. But today they are here to be advised, to train, to know certain things apart from having the sex, other things that can affect them in their education. They are here to know those things. Message I will give across is that always, since they are talking about gender equality, they shouldn't concentrate on the girls only. What they have started, they should continue always to train the boys, educate them on certain things that can affect them in their relationship with the girls. And training both girls and both boys and girls, I think the country can move forward. And we shall get the required people that we want to develop the nation. Thank you, and have a very good
To him.
Material.
Pornographic material. Very good. Let's give a clap to him. How does it affect us? Anybody? Yeah. Big material. Put the pictures down. And you also take this one. Please, quickly, we don't have time. What do you see there?
It can lead to mad.
When you are mad, the army will not accept you. You understand? Okay. So, my boss, come. Okay. So take this one. Let's look at this other issue too.
Flirting with girls.
Flirting with girls. Then what else? There's another hand over there.
Influencing the girl to have sex.
Influence what? Influencing a girl to have sex with you. Very good. Affect your academic work. In what way? You will not concentrate on your studies. You see it. And another way, teenage pregnancy. So you harass a lady. If the lady falls for you and you have sex with her, she'll get pregnant. Good. You can also, especially when the girl is below 16 years, and that will be defilement. You can end up in prison, and that will affect your career. So Eben and Gideon, what do we see there? Yes. Quickly, this one here, don't be spectators. Yes, boss. Taking naked pictures. So how does that one affect us? Yes.
It exposes you to the public.
It will expose you to the public, and it will give you what? Disgrace. Very good. Again, it will also entice you to go into having sex. All right. So place the pictures here. Now, Nyako, now you have a bunch of problems in your sack. Okay? Now try and carry this sack. Come to the starting point. Here. Okay. So as fast as you can, run with the sack, hit your target goal, and come back. Okay. So we have 8 seconds. When Yako was starting, what was his time? 6 seconds. And now with all these problems in his sack, what time did he make? 8 seconds. That means that if as adolescent boy you allow yourself for all these problems to affect you, what will it do? It will delay the time you have to reach your goal. You understand? In several ways, through teenage pregnancy, through madness, all of that, it will delay reaching your goal. So to sum it up, what do we need to do as boys? What do we need to do as boys about these issues that can derail us from reaching our goal? Yes. Stay away. You stay away from sex. Very good. What other issue? 2 more.
life.
And you are promising me today that as you live here, you look at these issues very critically and you don't allow them to affect your career goal. All right? Thank you very much. So thank you, Nyako, thank you, Eben, and thank you, Gideon. Very good.
Lord God bless you. Auntie Dairo is our next presenter. Let's clap for her. Let's welcome her with a clap.
Okay. So, earlier on when we were talking, and somebody responded. Who responded? See. Go through this with you in 30 minutes. Gender is a bit controversial with a lot of questions.
Please, madam, I said gender means sex, whether male or female.
He says gender means sex, either male or female. And almost all of us agreed, right? Eh? Friends.
Gender means social role of male and female.
Oh, and you didn't talk in the morning, or you were not here. Oh, you see. You see, so we have two schools of thought. One says the social role of male and female. Another one too is saying the sexes, men or women. So which one are we taking? Men and women. Those who say we should take men and women, we are confused. Are we confused? Are we confused? Okay. So gender is one thing and sex is another thing. When God created man, he created two, right? What did he create? What did God create? Male and female created he them, right? So what shows you are a man? God created you a man. When you are giving birth to, what shows you a man?
It's the penis.
What shows you are a girl when you are born?
The vagina.
So if you are born, you either see a penis and know that you are a boy, or you see a vagina and know that you are a girl, right? Thank you. So, these two, and with all the changes you spoke about, the biological makeup of a human being, that is your broadening of voice, your wet dreams, your broadening of chest, all the genes and all the biological things that goes on in your body that shows you are either a boy or a girl. For the girls, what are some of the biological things that go on in their body? Oh, you learned it to adolescents. Enlargement of breast. What else? Menstruation. Broadening of hips. What else? The girls. Growing of pubic hair. Let's talk about the reproductive system. The biological reproductive system. Yes. Ovulation. What else? That one I've not heard before. Ghana Health Service. Enlargement of vagina, is it part of it? When you are growing, it becomes bigger. Oh, okay. Hey, the boys, you know. Me, I don't know. Okay, so these are all natural things that happen to your body that makes you either a boy or a girl. And as a girl, at a certain stage, you become like me or madam, your stomach becomes big. But your stomach can only become big when you have a husband or a wife, right? Or the girlfriend that came to propose to you. We call what? Sex. So if I want to ask you whether you are a boy or a girl, I will ask you what is your sex. I won't ask you what is your gender. Do you understand sex now? That is your sex. That is what you are born with. Good. And when we talk about sex, I have already said it is biological. So it happens in your body. Number two, it is determined by birth, based on your biological characteristics. We have talked about them. It is the same as a boy in Navrongo. Or if I take a boy in Elmina, would he have penis? And that of Navrongo will have a vagina. A boy is a boy in wherever you find them. It is universal. When you take a boy in Ghana, it's the same as a boy in America, in Asia, anywhere. It is universal. Everywhere you go. And then also, it is very hard to change. Previously, I would say it is permanent. But now, some of our people in the developed countries, maybe you have seen some around. There are some men who say, yes, I have a penis, but I feel like a woman. So for that reason, they go through hormonal treatment, which is another story on its own. Love your body. They go through all the headache, and then finally they go through surgery to change their sex from either a man to a woman or a woman to a man, transgender. It is happening now under our watch. And when you go to the developed countries, it is there. They are doing it. But recently, there was a news item where a large number of transgender people, after changing their bodies into another body, feel that no, that body they have gone into also doesn't belong to them. So they want to come back to their normal body, and it is difficult. So this is happening now. But for me, I always say that even if you change it, the only difference is maybe somewhere in the future they will create a womb too for you. So if you change from a man to a woman, you can give birth. But for now, there are certain biological functions that you may not be able to perform if you change your sex. So sex is permanent previously. Now we say it's hard to change. Okay? Are we okay with sex? Are we okay? Do you understand what sex is? If I don't know where to place them. Maybe when we come to that is why they said hard to change. Because for someone like that, she may have the different hormones working within. So may have to go through the hormonal treatments and choose one of the sexes. But for now, naturally, what God has created is what? Two. Man or woman. And the hermaphrodites are very few. You hardly find it. You hardly find it. Okay, let's go on. Gender. Please, this part is very important to me. We are in a gender equality school, so you must understand it. Okay? Now, let's go to gender. Now, when we talk about gender, it is the culturally. We all come from cultures, right? We all come from different societies, right? Good. So when we speak about gender, it is the culturally and socially constructed or defined set of roles, duties, rights, responsibilities, and accepted behavior. These are the issues. Roles, duties, rights, responsibilities, accepted behavior that is expected of you as a man or a woman, a boy or a girl.
You have to learn how to achieve your goal.
Culturally, what is expected of you as a man?
To cater for your household.
Provide for your household. That is why you have to learn hard to achieve your goal, right? Because society expects that when you grow up, you should provide for your children. Your wife, you should take care of your wife and your children, right? Good. Thank you. Family. So you should exert some authority, right? Everybody sleep at 8. Everybody goes to bed, right? He is the head. Good. What else?
Giving appropriate care for your family.
Protection for your family. Last one. Oh, I said last one and all of you have raised your hand. Okay, I'll ask of responsibility.
Settling disputes which will occur in your family. Settling disputes.
Settle disputes that occur in your family. What are some of the behaviors that are expected of us as men? The way we should behave. Yes, talk. Society expects the man to behave very gently. Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes. To be courageous. Should be principled. Should be hardworking. Responsible in what sense? To be bold. Committed. Society expects you to be what? Okay. So we have seen what society expects a man to be. What are some of the things society expects a girl or a woman to be? I'll take 4. 2 from here, 2 from here. Okay, your hand went up first. Respectful. Decent. Caring. Chaste. Good. Hardworking. Humble. Educated. Okay? Loyal. So you see, while society expects the man to be bold, he expects the woman to be what? Respectful. Society expects the man to provide for the home. I didn't hear you say that for a woman, right? So as you are growing up as boys, you expect that you marry a woman that will stay at home and be caring, as he said. Be respectful, as somebody said. Be loving to their children. Is that what you're expecting in the future? That is what you're expecting, right? Because that is what society wants us to do. Now I'm going to ask you a controversial question. Let's say, God forbid, and because of some of these things, society expects that it is the man that will propose to the woman. If a woman comes to propose to you, what would you think about her?
I'll think that she's a prostitute.
Exactly. He would think that she's a prostitute. That is what society wants us to think. But right now in this room, you people told us that the girls come to propose to you, right? Are they human beings like you? Do they have the same feelings like you? So why would you think that the girl is a prostitute if she came to talk to you? And you are not a gigolo when you go and talk to her.
Okay, madam, say it's the Bible that we have to know about the societies. That okay, it is, let's say, a law that, yeah. Yeah. Oh, like we came to meet the law. Yeah. Yes, madam.
And socialization. Thank you. The law in your head. It is not on the book. Aha. What else? Thank you.
The society makes it clear that it is a dog who rather looks for bones, but not bones rather looking for dog. The dog is the man, and the bones is the female. So we rather look for women, not women rather looking for us. Yes, please.
Who is a dog here? Let me see by hands who is a dog here. Dogs. Please, dogs, raise your hand. Hey, 1, 2, we have 2 dogs here. Okay, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, thank you. Oh, 5 dogs, 6 dogs. So you are supposed to go for the bone and not the bone coming for you. Wait until you grow and you are 40 and you don't find a wife. And a woman comes to propose to you, then you go on your knees and thank God. Hello. So, as we are speaking, I said I wanted to ask a question. God forbid, you grow up, you become a very powerful doctor or a very powerful lawyer. Unfortunately, and you marry to a very beautiful, respectful, caring, gentle, humble wife, as society expects, who is supposed to take care of the home, and you are supposed to learn hard, get a job, and take care of her, right? That is the divide society has given us. And unfortunately, you have 3 beautiful children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. And one day you wake up and something happens to your source of income. You cannot provide for them again. What happens to you? Your life is not working because society expected to take care of their children, right? You said you are the dog, so now the dogs are going to talk. What happens to you?
Whenever you lose your job, you have to go for those invest that you did.
In Ghana, how many people can invest so much so that you can rely on your investment for 2 years, 3 years running without working?
At least for the meantime, just depend on it.
So after for the meantime,
you definitely get your.
I'll keep on working hard in order to overcome the difficulties.
good. You are an engineer. You lose part of your body. You have stroke. Something happens to you. You lose your source of income. What would you do?
Madam, I'm not the only person in the house, and I'm right now deformed, so the girl would also supposed to go and look for it. Okay, a woman.
But the woman, at the early stage, you said you are supposed to provide. So when it comes to taking decision on who to train, who to educate, because the law is in our head that the man is to provide, a lot of effort is put into making the man the provider and leaving the other side. When God created Adam and Eve, when God created Adam, he said he's going to create what? A help meet. Because God is all-knowing. He knows that life is unpredictable. unpredictable. Anything can happen in life. So he creates a partner that can meet your need at every point in your life. And the world is changing. Things are happening. Society is changing. And so sometimes even the man's salary, it can barely feed the house, much more pay the school fees. So if you take that scenario, for example, what would you do as a man? Your wife is beautiful, humble, gentle, respectful, but no source of support for you. And she wakes up in the morning. What's your name?
David.
Hey, sweetheart, David, please, I want money to go and buy pad. Oh, sweetheart, David, I want money to go and buy pepper. Sweetheart, I want money to go and buy chalewote. Sweetheart, I want money to go and buy a watch. Sweetheart, I want money to go and buy a chain. Sweetheart, I want money to go and buy chewing stick, to go and buy brush, to go and buy toilet roll. How would you feel?
I'm frustrated.
Frustrated. You'll be very frustrated. And then you realize that you begin to call her useless. Because she doesn't have anything to do to help you. As God has purposed it to be a help meet. At least she can buy pepper to cook food for you. She can buy her own pad and her own panty. But here you are. There is a law in your head that says you should provide. And that law is ruling you your whole life. So you say, sit down, I'll provide everything. And you go and you become a donkey. You work and work and work and work. And by the time you are 60, pim, you are gone. Dead and gone. Gone so soon. Isn't it happening? Now when you go to Facebook, gone so soon. Gone too soon. Gone too early. Gone hey. We are putting too much burden on ourselves. Instead of harnessing what God has given us, the helpmate to help, we have created laws in our head. And you know, what you have said is in the Bible. Yes. When man and woman fell, God told the man that you will sweat before you eat, right? But in the beginning, man was working in the garden. When man finished working, God saw that he was exhausted. So he said what? I will create a helpmeet for you. So God in the beginning purposed it like that. But when man fell, God said, you fell. You will suffer. So now we as human beings decided to choose the suffering. So the man must suffer. And the woman, when you give birth, you are the woman. You have to take care of the child. You have to do this one. She also suffered in childbirth. So we have taken the curse part and left the original promise that God has given to us. Happens if I'm the MP of the community and I come, would you sack me? They'll put me there because the law is just in our head. It is not written anywhere. It is not in the Bible. It is not anywhere. It is in our head. So I am the MP, I'm the president, I've come. Sack me here. Would you sack me? No, you will not sack me. It is about helping one another. Changing that perception and agreeing that what I can do, you can also do. But unfortunately, when we are growing, as babies, we begin to train ourselves. Hey, you are a girl, why are you playing with the helicopter? You are a boy. When we are buying toys, we buy guns for the boys, right? And we buy cooking utensils for the girls, right? Because that is how the law in our head is created. In gender, it is said that when two children are born, a boy and a girl, from 0 to age 2, their brain functions the same. But after age 2, When we start training them, creating the laws in their head through socialization, teaching them what a boy should do and what a girl should do. The girl, you should be shy. When a boy says, I love you, you say, oh, I don't like that too. Then you are shy small. Then you are shy small. Then you agree. Or, But the boy too, you should be bold and you should push. So when the girl says, I don't like that, so you say, oh, no means yes. Let me go again. Let me go again. Ally. It is all part of the laws that are created in our head through the socialization process. So when you look on the board, there are some things that reinforce these laws. I've already said that social status can change that law. If I go to school, I am educated, I know my rights, I know how to support you at home, it changes things. There are a lot of men these days who are helping their wives, and there are a lot of women these days who are supporting their husbands. I bet you there are a lot of women who are earning more than their husbands these days, and the men are enjoying. Seriously. Okay? So the laws in our head must change if we want the original plan of God to work for us. And if it has to change, it has to change from the beginning. We must start thinking right. Have you seen how they are thinking? Have you seen the way they are thinking up there? What is the lady thinking about? Zoom it. Let's say profession. What is the lady thinking about? Rules, laws, and shared understanding. You said it here. Written. Some are written. Some are not written. It's in our head. Some are just things we do that becomes imposed on us. But all this make us behave in a way that we prevent one sex from enjoying the same rights and opportunities. Now, to be able to achieve gender equality, we need to do some hatchet work. So we look at who the thing is affecting most. That is why the GES started the STME clinic for girls. Because a lot of girls were not into science, maths, and those areas. So they had to put in measures so that the girls can also get there. And so when we talk about equity, it is about fairness, but there is some unfairness in the fairness. For example, in this school, if they find out that all the people who applied for science are boys, and the cutoff point is 10, and there are 3 girls who also applied for science, but they had 12. To bridge the gap and get them to come into the sciences, they may have to give them a little leverage and take the 12 ones in. You get it? So sometimes they create the opportunity. No. Men can also be gender champions because you know what you get out of it. Number 3, every woman is a gender expert. It's not true. There are some women who don't even understand the cultural issues that lead to those discriminations and all that. And everybody needs to be educated. There are girls who don't understand what we are learning today. And so when you go back to your school, you will be the champions to educate them. And then when you go on, you realize that sometimes we need extra effort and extra money to educate people. And then also, whatever area you find yourself, gender is there. In the house, in the classroom, in the dining hall, everywhere you find yourself, gender is there. I say go. Okay. So there is something we call harmful masculinities. Everybody, when you are growing, as we have discussed, at a stage, you should be a man, right? And what makes you a man? What makes you a man? Manhood. If you are talking about manhood, what are some of the things you should do to show that you are a man?
I'm taking informed decisions.
What are some of the things you do to show you are a strong man?
No matter.
You should be bold and courageous. So in that boldness, you take risky decisions. You take a lot of risk just to prove to the girl that you are a man. Do you understand? So one, you take risk. Number two, you want to be seen as strong. So even when you can't carry the thing, there are girls there. So you want to prove that you are strong. So you go and carry and you break your waist. Number three, sometimes boys also need help. But because you want to be a man, one of the things that we have is bemansu. So you are suffering. You are suffering inside. Instead of crying, you say bemansu and you are suffering. You refuse to seek help. We went to Imuna for a community program on STIs. And there were registration from all women, about 400. Then I was standing at the back and these young boys came and pulled me. Madam, please come. And I followed them to the back of the corner. Madam, I want me, why you go bad? They need help. Right there we had medical officers treating STIs, but they don't want to seek the help. And those boys are sleeping with the girls in the communities, impregnating them. And in the same program, we detected a number of cervical cancers symptoms. And cervical cancer is sexually transmitted. The virus, it is men are carriers. And they have so on their penis, they cannot seek help. You get what that law in your head can do to you. And so, you refuse to seek help. The next one is, you feel entitled. I'm the man. You are the one wearing the short dress. I came to propose to you, so you must agree. I am entitled to you. Sometimes you feel entitled. Don't you? Don't you? But you are not entitled to every woman. You cannot force yourself on a woman. You'll find out it's a crime. And then exerting power of dominance over women and your counterpart girls. These are some of the things you do to show that you are a man. Now, because of some of these things, you realize that they say, when you are driving and you see a car going slow, you say, where are your bar not driving? No, or your bar, because the women are careful. The man wants to take a risk. So, road traffic injuries and death gone too soon. Number two, homicide. Sees the girl, she's gone out 2 nights, she's not in the house. Why did you go out? I don't understand. I want to leave you, you are beating me. I won't allow you to leave you. If you go there, I'll kill you. He kills the woman and kills all the children. Some of the things that harmful masculinities can do to us. And then sometimes you end up smoking to prove that you're a man. Abusing drugs. Some of these things you do to prove that you are a man. And risky sexual behavior. Sometimes you bet among yourselves. You have girls among you, say, them girl, yeah. Mommy, I'm my girlfriend. I'm a summer fun. Mobwa. So you go and toast her. After getting her, this one go and toast her after getting her. Forgetting that you are living diseases and spiritual connections behind you. And you are going one after the other. Risky sexual behaviors. To prove that you are a man. Is that manhood? Good. So these are too small, but I'll try. So some of this behavior can actually hurt us and can actually hurt investments. Health. Once we do those things, we need to invest more into health. We need to invest more into security to take care of those children and all that. And there are a lot of things that happen. You refuse to help your wife. She will suffer, take care of their children. Nothing for her. Is that what we want for our lives? So this is what we are talking about when we are talking about gender equality and gender. And then finally, because of these laws, some of us force ourselves on our younger ones. Then we end up committing crime and we are jailed for it. So this is what gender is and how gender inequality can affect men as well as it can affect women. And so promoting gender equality means reorienting yourself to understand the changing world and go along with this change. Thank you very much. I don't have education, so anything anybody says goes. Another issue is it's acceptable in some cultures and traditions, like we have said. Poverty can also lead to sexual and gender-based violence. When you look at the girls who are raped and defiled, a lot of them are very poor girls. You hardly see the rich ones being raped. It's the poor ones. So poverty is there. Exposure to violence as a child. So I am in a house. My father is always beating my mother. So when I grow up, I know that beating is normal. So I can also do it. So he will do it and continue, and the cycle continues. The geographical location, discrimination against girls, parental neglect is also very important. It can cause some of these things. And then alcohol and substance abuse. When you drink alcohol, it alters your thinking. You don't think straight. You take weed, you don't think straight. Tramadol, you don't think straight. So there are things you shouldn't do. You go and be doing them, and they become violence, and it can land you in jail. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that can lead to sexual and gender-based violence. Let's go. There are many, but then as society, you can end your career or education. Divorce or separation. You beat your wife every day. She packs her things and she's gone. And your children will suffer effects of sexual and gender-based violence. Then in our health, it can bring unwanted pregnancies. It can bring diseases. It can bring things like fistula. Do you know what fistula is? I'll show you. Unsafe abortion. The girl is pregnant. You are afraid. She's also afraid. You run. Somebody says, take a stick. Pierce the womb. It will come out. You do. She's dead. You are in trouble. It can bring sexually transmitted infections. It can bring sexual dysfunctions. When you rape a person, it stays in her mind for life. So sometimes she even sees a man and she's afraid. It can also lead to infertility. One day you marry and there is no child. A lot of things can happen. Isaac, let's go. Psychologically, you can become depressed. You can have fear or anxiety. You can mistrust the opposite sex. And all this, you can start abusing drugs and all that. So sexual and gender-based violence is a serious matter. Physically, you can become disabled. You can have physical injury, and then you can even die. These are some of the things sexual and gender-based violence does. As a child, when you get pregnant, because your cervix are not well developed, when you want to give birth, you suffer to push the child. And so sometimes the skin between the vagina and the anus will tear. And then you are dripping urine. You can't control the flow of your urine. So it is dripping. That is what we call fistula. So if a young girl gets pregnant, she has a higher chance of developing obstetric fistula. That is another effect. Let's go. Okay, go. Okay, so here, go. 6% of men are reported for not taking care of their children. So when I'm talking with evidence. Somebody said some, and I said majority. So that is how it looks like. When you come to all the other crimes, you realize that the men perpetrators are more. And we don't want to see you in prison. If you are in prison, we will suffer too. So that is why we are having the men's schools, so that we can all discuss these issues. Go. 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 We've spoken about child marriage. We will not talk about it. Go. Because if one falls down, the other must be able to hold him up. Do you get me? And so let's not discriminate. Let's not violate the rights of others. Let's be ambassadors. Let's speak up and defend our counterpart girls. Defend ourselves, protect ourselves from violence, so that one day we can have a better society than we came to meet. Thank you very much.
We are focused. Boys, boys. We are focused. Boys, boys. We are focused.
Let's take this one.
Zebra people have refused to talk, so I'll let them talk. And that's where you can also enjoy those rights. Can we go on? But the right, they are more than that. Let's go on. Because we are children below 18 years, we are vulnerable. Someone was asking a question. If you are a day to become 16, now we are talking about people who are below 18 years. So if a day to you're 18, you are part of those we are talking about. Because you are vulnerable, the Children's Act is a document that talks about children. One of the principles there is the welfare principle. And it says that there are two of them. The first one says The best interest of the child shall be paramount in any matter. All of us have priorities. So you know priority. You know priority. What's the difference? What's the difference between paramount and primary consideration? Because this one says that teach them. So they must teach us to stop doing that. So you know pregnancy is not infectious. You say it's an indiba. Let my friend answer. Of course. So pregnancy is not infectious, it's not contagious, but it's an act. So once you are thinking about the ladies, you must think about grow up to parents, right to education and well-being. There are so many of them, and you are experts in that. But please, let's focus on the rights that we enjoy as children, and forget about right to property, right to vote, right to marriage, and the rest. Forget about those ones. You want to ask a question? Write it. Let's go on. Right to opinion. As we are here, somebody was asking a question. What if I'm a day younger than 16, a day younger than 8? That's his view. We must respect his view. And once you are a child, your parents and our parents must understand us that you have a view. Oh, Papa, no, mommy, and so much to say. Those in SS, let me look at who has them decided not to do it. What they were talking, I was in a room, they didn't know. I was listening to them. Because what they were thinking about, Matra, be careful. So as children, our parents will give us the guidance. You are fortunate to have it. When I was in secondary school, nobody told us this. So you have to go and look for your friends to advise you. And I tell you, the advice they'll give you are not correct ones. The last one, our parents are to maintain us. It's the duty of our parents to feed us. So if you are here and your father is not feeding you, or you go to school and a female friend tells you that my father or my mother is not taking care of me, then you will find a way to, like teacher welfare said, stealing. Some of you have been stealing your parents' money to go and give to your girlfriends. Is it true or not? True. So you have done it before. But if you are not done it before, how do you know it's true? Who has done it before? I want somebody who has done it before. Who has stolen money before to give to a girlfriend? Okay, sorry. Who has given a money to a girlfriend before? You have given money to a girlfriend before. So where did you get the money?
From my feeding fee. Yes.
If someone violates your rights, because you were saying that when they talk about rape, they say male cannot be raped. Yes, that's what the law says. But it can be defiled. Now there is what? Sodomy. And there's a particular school in Central Region where a teacher sodomized a student. The student could not confide in the parent until a medical professional came into it. Oh, you have forgotten your question.
Most of us are in the boarding house system. I believe some of you did. What it is that the idea behind bringing all of you into boarding house, or some of you into boarding house, is the fact that we need to make friends. We need to fraternize. That was the idea of Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who introduced some of these things. So today, in the midst of us, we have people from Volta in your dormitories, those of you in the boarding houses. We have people from the north, people from the south, everywhere. And that is the beauty of it. Of course, the opportunities in this far outweigh the negatives. But there are issues in there. Mine is to share with you how young guys we are able to cope in school, for instance. And in the second year, a friend's friend, who perhaps lives in the vicinity, I went to straight secondary school. There were houses just close by our dormitories. So on Saturdays, for instance, during entertainment, I believe you do. Yeah, there was this guy who came out from one of the houses and joined us in entertainment. Of course, there are unapproved routes that we used to come. And one time he came looking for a friend of mine. The guy is called Curio. It's like half caste. He came, the guy is not around, and he was told that he should come to see me because he's a friend to me. He came, I also looked around everywhere for my friend. I couldn't find him. So eventually the guy left. The next Saturday, the guy came again. Said, this time around, he came looking for me. I said, why? But I don't even know you. It is through my friend that I got to know him. Then eventually it was Saturday, and we found our way out of the campus. We went to a house, a trash house. You might think it is his house. At the time, we were younger and we thought, no, it was just a caretaker. He took me in there, and I am telling you how I tasted wine. And it became almost part of me. Of course, I even still drink beer, but I wish I had not tasted that. I wish I had not had that experience. He brought wine. It's people wine. He just poured it. I took it. It was fun. Then I tried finding my way back to campus. Of course, he came with me to the campus. But once we were coming, he was like, but Kingsley, you are even stronger than Kulio. The Kulio is a hard guy. Like, you are even stronger than Kulio. Because Kulio takes just a half glass, and he can't even find his way back to school. But you've taken about a full one and even a half. And you are moving on. So we got to, you see the impression he gave me. And he put that thing in my mind that, it's cool. So I got to campus. I slept and I felt good. I felt I've done something somebody have not done it some before. And that is how I tasted it. The guys came and I told them about it. And I felt on top of the world that I'm sure I've also tasted wine, people wine. And that is it. The end of it all, it went through that. I went through the same processes. Now, girls, stuff. Now, I have been introduced to that thing. You start now having that feeling. After that, you think you are a hard guy. So things others are doing that you are not doing. Now you want to again also do that. So first of all, that is the influence. The point I am drumming here is that we are coming from various places. Some are innocent sitting here. Some came from their houses very innocent. Didn't even know what a boyfriend, girlfriend is about. Didn't even know how to even dance, stand on the stage and dance. Didn't even know how to do so many things. But the fact that you have come together, you have become a friend to somebody from somewhere you didn't know. Cultural, different cultures coming in. Now, it is the persons have been doing so many things that perhaps you are not used to. But the person, now you have come into contact with the person, and now you'll be doing things that perhaps under normal circumstances you wouldn't be doing. So that is the negative side of it. So we are talking about influence. There are so many things that will be influencing you. Friends will be influencing you. But of course, you should know the reason why you are in school. You are in school to study, make a good grade, and of course, continue. Secondary school cannot be the end of it for you. You get it? It cannot be the end of it for you. It is just the beginning. So if you allow somebody who thinks that perhaps secondary school is enough for him, and so therefore, even if he gets aggregate 35 and he doesn't care, so you also want to be in the same situation, you have to be careful. Such people may be influencing you, leading you, let's go out. Those of you that perhaps maybe guys, claim to be guys, might have gone through some of these things. Even during entertainment time, you see some of you with girls. That is not to say don't have friendship with girls. They are part of us. That is why we are all together. They are our sisters, they are our brothers. They can even be friends. There's nothing wrong with it. But you should be able to differentiate even between that friendship. What kind of friend that you want to have with that beautiful lady? What kind of friend do you want to have with that handsome boy? So that is what is important. Nobody is saying that don't be friends with a girl, even that will make you some way. You will eventually grow up and you will eventually get married. Okay, so nobody's saying that, but what we are saying is that be careful the kind of friendship that you make, even with the ladies. You see, most of the time they say that when the warnings are good, that's why I was told that this is boys to boys thing, so I should, when I come, I know I'm going to pour my heart out for you. Most of the time they say it is the boys that impregnate the girls and so on and so forth, and it is you that, of course, we are the problem of the girls and so on. My brothers, sometimes it is not like that. Open your eyes. In most cases, we, the boys, are, of course, becoming a problem to the girls. But there are instances, some of you will testify, there may be some brilliant chaff in there, not really brilliant in terms of academics. That is one. There may be handsome boys, and all of you are handsome. Depending on who is looking at you, you will see a girl drawing closer to you, and not maybe to learn with you, but to have that kind of friendship with you. There are girls like that. They say, well, I'm a scholarship. You see a girl can put pressure on you, can pester you, can do all of these things to you. At the end of the day, when something like that happens, bad thing happens, the problem, everybody will say it is the boy. But sometimes there are instances girls rather even create problem for you boys. And you should also open your eyes and see those people. Have friendship with them. If it is on learning basis, it's on learning basis. Steady partners, I don't have problem with that. But when you realize that the girlfriend is becoming an impediment even to your learning, stop it. A girl may come, let's even go and learn. But at the end of the day, that is not even the intention. He's going to distract you. Stay away from that girl. It is not only girls that should stay away from us. You should also take a decision to stay away from a girl who will distract you. He is not coming for you to learn, to study together. Perhaps he likes your looks. Perhaps you are too intelligent in class. Perhaps because of the way you dress. It's funny, but that is how it works. You'll be approaching you, so study the person. Is he somebody that can help me in terms of my studies? Is he somebody that can help us together we learn? Or is somebody maybe based on, maybe those of you two from rich homes, you are coming and maybe you have something small in your pocket, and you see ladies also coming close to you. So it is two-way affair. But all along, the impression has been created, I see, that it is the boys that distract the girls. Yes, it is true, but it is not wholly true. There are instances girls also distract boys. So we should be careful as boys in terms of that. You know, you are here to study, and that should be the focus of why you are here. If you think that, after secondary school, you have nothing to do, it's up to you. But I think that after secondary school, there's so much that you need to do. You should end at maybe tertiary, whether polytechnic, whether the university or whatever. That should be the limit. Do you get it? By now, some of you are contemplating careers in future, what you want to do, and so on and so forth. At this time, you can only contemplate it. Fresh will be put on those contemplations or what you have put on your mind. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a journalist. I want to be a teacher. I want to be whatever, policeman. This is where you conceive the idea. But you can't be a teacher in this state. Do you get it? You should be a quality teacher. You should be a quality doctor. So if you want to be a teacher, you can't end here. If you want to be a journalist like myself, you can't end here. If you want to be that nurse, there are no girls here. Or even nurse, there are even male nurses. Am I lying? There are male nurses. So whatever profession you are contemplating, you cannot achieve it with this your level. You definitely need to move up. So that is what you should be thinking about. And don't allow influences from either boys or girls, your peers, and so on. I know you are tired. I want to leave it here, but the focus is that be vigilant, be focused. Let the studies that you are here to do be the preoccupation of your being here. Your parents have put in so much for you. You are lucky today. Government is also assisting you in one way or the other. What it means is that your parents need you. Of course, you need yourself. Your society needs you. And Ghana needs you. So the life you are living here today will determine your future and whether you will be a better person for yourself Because you need to be a better person for yourself before you can influence me, before you can become a doctor and perhaps treat me. If at this age you become a drunkard, if at this stage you become a smoker, at this age you become a womanizer or whatever, it means you are destroying yourself. You are not destroying yourself alone. You have destroyed the future of your parents. The hopes, the aspiration of your parents, you have destroyed it. It doesn't end there. You have destroyed the hopes and aspirations society have also having in you. Because society knows that, oh, Akwesi is from Mensakrom. And we believe that when he comes out, when he finishes the university, he's going to be a teacher and affect us and contribute to the growth of the society. If you fail in achieving that, of course you have failed the society and you have failed your country as a whole. So what I am leaving you with is that just be focused, concentrate, and don't allow negative influences to affect you negatively. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Bryce Ahoy and I'm from Addis Adel College. Pardon? Okay, I've learned a lot. Actually, initially I thought gender meant being a male or a female, but today I've realized that gender rather means they are the socially and culturally defined rules and rights behaviors that are accepted by the society and are associated with both the male and then the female. Meanwhile, sex means being a male and a female. So basically, that's the very new thing that I've learned today, I've discovered today. Okay, this program has opened new ideas, has given me new ideas. In fact, initially I didn't know the exact difference between rape and then defilement, for example. So I got to realize that defilement is it covers the years below 16, and then rape is under the years of 16 years. So it has done a lot to me, and then I've known the right channels, the right places to report cases of violence. In case I'm being violated, I know the right place to go is to see the SRAJ or go to the DOFS. Yeah, actually, initially, gender equality was based mainly on females, but then now they realize that they are saying we are the we cause the problem. So it is therefore right for them to educate us so that we avoid them. We don't, when they entice us, we don't fall into it or we don't force them to engage in, for example, sexual misconduct.
My name is Samurai Chiri, and I'm 103 class prefect, and I'm from Ednamani Senior High School. Please, you say? Actually, at first, I was not know that being in sexual activities with our fellow sex will make our achieving goal. If we've not engaged in those sexual activities, we can able to achieve our goals immediately. But whenever we get in sexual activities like impregnate someone, our goals that we want to achieve in future will take a long of time before we will achieve our goals. The advice that I want to give to my fellow colleagues or my friends is that, as I said earlier, that engaging yourself in sexual activities will take you a lot of time to reach your goals. I would like to advise them that those of them who are engaging themselves in those activities should abstain themselves from it.
Okay, thank you for the question. But at first, when we came, in my own opinion of gender, I was thinking about being just a male and a female. But I've come to realize that talking about gender is a broad thing, and it consists of both the male and the female having, the same opportunities, enjoying the same opportunities in our communities. Therefore, we must educate both the ladies and the guys too.
so that at least we may know what is expected of us as youth, so that we can become what we want to become in future, so that we can fight hard to push our mother Ghana forward as we expect to push the nation forward. Thank you. Please pardon. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can say no. Because, you see, as we were discussing here, we got to know that in the ancient days, we used to educate only the guys. And society has been putting in mind that, I quote in Chi, that Obato tuya etrebema them. That means whatever needs to be done for one to come out successfully, it must come from the side of the guys, and which is a false thing. If we follow, will not help the society. So I think if we are able to stick together and educate or give the same opportunities to both the genders, both the male and the female, I think we can come out with something better as compared to the Asian days. Oh, for now, I can say that right from here, I need to go and educate my people that it will be good and it will be perfect. We treat everybody equally, both the male and the female, so that it will help the country as such and not just we, the individuals. My name is Benjamin Ade, and I'm coming from Jokwa Senior High School.
I'm Osei Kofi from Commander Senior High Technical School. As for me, I learned about gender equalities. The society must put measures so that there will be laws apply equal to the girls and the men's. So as for me, I want to encourage the guys that they should focus on their books so that they will get whatever they want in future. Parents, as I can say, poverty can lead to teenage pregnancy. If the parents are very poor, it can lead to teenage pregnancy.
Based on what you've learned today,
Okay.
should they be blameless? Is our parents giving it the right direction?
Okay, as for me, my parents, they are giving me the right direction because, okay, as I'm in the house, they'll give me advice so that when I come to the school, I should focus on my books. That's the advice they give to me. As I will give them advice that they should focus their books. If they focus their books, they will get whatever they want in future. As for that, I can say that if they determine and hard work, no girl can influence the guys, or no guy can influence the girl, because if you are determined and hard work, no one will influence you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Benjamin Isianatha, tutor from Adisadel College, Cape Coast. I'm actually happy that the organizers organized today's program, because previously they would organize this program for ladies and give them more information about themselves, and then I don't want to say neglect, but then the guys are not having more information on themselves. So I'm actually happy that today this program was organized so that the boys will be well informed about themselves. Yeah. Of course. Now we've heard several things about gender, about domestic violence, and even about boys' biological makeup. I actually didn't know wet dreams go hand in hand with menstruation. More like the girls experiencing menstruation and the boys experiencing wet dreams. But then we have been informed, and then other things that guys can also do to help ladies. Yeah. Well, the boy, my issue is about the information. Now, boys have information, not to be. The fact that they said you are a leader doesn't mean you should go and be beating ladies and then be forcing them to do what they are not supposed to do. I think it will be on consensus and then sharing of ideas in the house. And then they have also told the boys that the fact that our tradition says boys do not cry doesn't mean that when they need help, they shouldn't go for help. They should actually be bold and look for help as the need be. Yeah. Welcome.
So let's scatter those laws and let good laws and let them guide us and help us to become better men for the future. Okay? Thank you so much for coming.
Lower Dentra, Ekumfi, Asan South, Cape Coast, and I think those are the districts we brought the boys from. The fact is that in the fight is a gender equality, SGBV prevention, and adolescent sexual and reproductive health boys school. And the aim is that all these issues, although the majority of people affected are women, we realize that in our region, over 84% of the perpetrators of the acts of violence are men. And so if we be able to address issues of adolescent sexual and reproductive health, we'll be able to address issues of sexual and gender-based violence and issues of gender equality. We need the sexes to understand the issues so that they can also contribute to addressing the issues at hand. Gender is a social construct, and today I learned so much from the boys, just as they learned from me. The concept is a school, so it's a learning field for all of us. And you realize that most of them have very limited knowledge on the issues of sexual and gender-based violence, on the issues of adolescent sexual and reproductive health, and on the issues of gender equality. There were a lot of misconceptions from the beginning, hand in hand. We'll be able to address some of these issues, both men and women coming together to solve the issues that are confronting us as society. And that is why we have all met here to everybody on board. We have different stakeholders. One, I've already said that gender and gender equality is a social construct. So to deal effectively with it, we need every stakeholder on board. And men are not excluded. You realize that most of the issues addressed are related to men as much as it's related to women. And so if we be able, and as part of the process of dealing with issues of sexual and gender-based violence, so that it doesn't only protect the women, but it also prevents the men from committing those acts in the first place. And so it is a collective responsibility. We are not just focusing on the men. The men is just partnering the strength and then impacting knowledge that will help change some of the things that we are currently experiencing. Oh yes, I want my dear boys and men to know that whatever affects women affects them. And there is something we call harmful masculinities. If you think manhood is being strong, being aggressive and all that, there are times that you begin to develop an entitlement mentality. And if you are not careful, you'll be their mothers, their sisters, their friends, and their grandparents and their peers. Protect them, because one day, even if she's not your sister, she's somebody's sister. If she's not your sister, she will become your wife one day. So you will also have a daughter one day, and you will want people to treat her well. And so it is a collective responsibility.